What is going on, guys? How's it going today? Welcome back to another flipping and money-making live stream. I'm your host with the most, Escapenomics here, guys, and welcome back to another one on this lovely, lovely Friday evening. Now, guys, if you've been here once or twice, you know the deal. Working with 2,140,000,000 GP today. Gonna try to flip that up, see what we can make out of it, and see how much money we can actually make by the end of the hour. Now, if you guys enjoy this one at any moment in time, definitely drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. It's Friday. I am pumped up. We got a weekend ahead of us to flip, make some gains, and honestly, record some content for you guys because I know that you guys are desperate to see some overnights, some passive flips, and of course, the smaller cash tag guide that will be coming out soon, and I do plan on doing some work on those this weekend. But if you've been here once or twice, you know the deal. We'll be flipping the classic items here today. Starting off with the Scythe of Etur. Currently looks like it's got a pretty decent margin on it. It has been moving down here in the past few minutes while I have been looking at it, and honestly, that is an exciting sign for us. We might be able to get a cheap one in here and just try to make a little bit of money off that here today. We're going to go ahead and list one, let it do its thing. We're going to wait for that to fill out. Now, we are going to go in on the Twisted Bow as well, but probably not yet. The Twisted Bow is not looking too great as of right now. We're going to let that margin settle down a little bit and become a little bit more profitable on that flip. But another item we could go into is the Spectral Spirit Shield, currently advertising a very, very nice margin for us today. Now, the Spectral Spirit Shield is one flip that is a little bit slower than your average flip, right? It's a little bit lower volume than a lot of items that, you know, it's surprisingly low volume considering its cost. I think that's a great way to put it. And the supply on this item is just not as great as some other items in comparison. So keep that in mind as you go ahead and flip those Spectral Spirit Shields. They are a competitive flip nonetheless, but we do want to do the Twisted Bow as well. Anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream today, drop a like. Now, let's get this Twisted Bow in here. The margin just stretched on it, so I think that is a great opportunity for us to just dive in there, get our hands on a Twisted Bow, and honestly flip that around for a decent profit here. Happy Friday to everybody tuning in today. Hopefully, you guys are having a good one. I know I am. We still have 225 mil to work with, though. Should we invest this into an item? And I think we should. We're going to go ahead and try to do these Ancestral Robe Bottoms here in our last slot. We'll try to fill out a few of these. Currently looking like a pretty decent margin on those as well. Get to clear about 110k for every one that we do flip here. So we're going to go ahead and list that on the exchange. Now, let's go ahead and get 3 of these Ancestral Robe Bottoms here. We can't quite do 4 at this moment in time. We don't have quite enough cash on hand. So we'll just let that sit for a minute and do its thing. Hopefully you guys are doing well on this Friday. Let me know in the live chat what you guys have been flipping today. Has it been going well for you? Has it not been going well for you? I'm always curious to know how the market is, guys, when you are flipping these items, right? So maybe things are looking good today, maybe they're not looking as good. It's very important for me to know that going forward in the live stream, just to see what's going to work for us and what is not going to work. Anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well. We'll get these items listed here. I am following the margins very, very closely. Now, that is one thing that I think is very important with flipping nowadays in this real-time meta, right? Is you have to follow the item prices very, very, very closely. We have Josiah Jones popping in. He says, I've been flipping Elven Signets, and they have been good since last night. Josiah, man, good to see you in the live chat here today. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you have been enjoying it so far. And thank you for the suggestion. I don't think I've ever flipped Elven Singlets, actually. So that could be an item that I'm going to try out. And let me ask you, Josiah, is that something you are flipping overnight, or is that something you are actively flipping? Definitely let me know. I would be very curious to know. We also have Games with Cheese popping in as well. He says, your stream says learn to flip. You're hiding prices. I'm confused and not trying to be rude, by the way. No problem, Games with Cheese. Hopefully you are doing well, man. Well, in these live streams, we kind of have an open forum, and you can ask questions on how to flip with any amount of cash. Now, I do know that the margins are covered, but that has to happen because if I do expose my margins, the problem with it is people will take the margins and just use them on the Grand Exchange. So I actually have to hide my prices in order to be able to teach you guys how to successfully flip items. If I can't flip anything, then obviously it's going to be a little bit tough to teach, but I can definitely talk you through any flipping situations, any cash stack amounts, if you need any item recommendations, anything like that, or any personal situations as well. We can definitely help you out there, Cheese, but definitely some good criticism nonetheless. Now we have all 99s, please, says Adamant Dark Tips made me 1.5 mil over a day and a half. Really good gains on those. I don't know where the gains came from in that regard, but very, very nice. Let me go, yeah, I like this song a little bit better. Now, nonetheless, guys, hopefully you guys are doing well. Happy Friday, and definitely appreciate you guys taking your time to stop by here today. Now, we are getting in on those big items right off the bat, guys. It is something I'm trying to get into today. We do have that Twisted Bow that is moving up margin on us, and that Scythe of Vitur is not looking too great on the fill out as well, considering now we are having a gapping margin, which means we're probably listed too low, but we're going to sit on that for a little bit longer. Games with Chase. I think I was calling you Cheese, man. I'm sorry. He says, thanks for the knowledge. You're super well spoken, by the way. Thank you, Games, man. Do appreciate that. And welcome to the stream, man. I'm not sure I've seen you around here before, so good to see you. My flipping skills are very bad, says Ali Dreamscape. Dude, you got to tune into some more streams, man. We can help you out. Feel free to ask any questions regarding flipping or money making in old school RuneScape. We'll definitely help you out, man. We have Jay Hefner popping in. Good to see you, Jay. He says, finishing my exams with a RuneScape economics stream. Always a good time. Jay, man, so good to see you, man. And how'd the exams go, dude? Hopefully it wasn't anything too challenging. Hopefully you knew the information and you freaking smacked that thing out of the park, man. Hit it with a 99, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we have Jay saying happy weekend. Thank you, Jay, man. And all 99s, please, as well. He says, I've got 31 mil to flip with. Any suggestions for 3 short flips? I'm assuming you're talking about active flips with 31 mil. I would recommend the Dragon Arrows, Zalra Scales, Air Orbs are going to be good as well. Battle Staves will be super quick if that's something you're looking into as well. You could throw some Blood Runes, Death Runes in there if you'd like as well. Those will give you some good margins. Although they're not really great margins, but they will make you a decent amount of GP pretty quickly. You could do something like the Toxic Blowpipe, the Carol's Leather Top, Carol's Leather Skirt. All of those items are really great for that amount of money, so definitely would recommend all of those. Now, let me go ahead and adjust some things around here. We do have that Scythe of Vitur that is not filling at its bottom price. I do imagine that the Scythe of Vitur is a little bit competitive right now, considering, like I said before, the margin is a little bit larger than I know it really is, right? At least the real-time listed price is a little bit larger. So we're going to go in for a little bit higher of a price, try to get another one. And in the meantime, I'm going to go grab my water, which is literally right across the room. So just give me 1 second, guys. And we are back. Perfect timing to get back too, because we just finished up on buying those Ancestral Row Bottoms. Now, I'm hoping this is going to be the first flip of the day that's actually going to net us some cash. You never really know with these Ancestral Row Bottoms, right? So we're going to have to see if we can actually sell these back. And currently, the margin does look like it is going to work in our favor. So I would actually like to capitalize on that as quickly as possible. We'll see if we can sell these back for about a 95K margin, which would be pretty good if we can get it off. Games with Chase says, first time in the stream, I usually do free-to-play risk fighting, but looking to flip some stuff overnight around a 10 mil cash stack to start. Well, Chase, if you are flipping overnight, I'm assuming in free-to-play only, but if you do have access to members, let me know. I can definitely give you some recommendations on how to do overnights with a 10 mil stack. It will be a little bit lackluster at first, but you will, over time, be able to build up a little bit more money and make a little bit more cash on those overnights, and it should really pay off in the long run. Let me go in on this Twisted Bow here again. We can't get a good fill on the Twisted Bow as of right now, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I'm just going to bump that up very, very slightly. Try to get it a little bit more competitive and try to get one here, because I do want to make sure we can get some T-Bows flipped today. Try to get our cash on that. I do want that Scythe as well, but I'm not going to chase the Scythe too crazily today. Now, we do have a good margin showing on the Sanguesti staff as well. It's not something I really want to cycle into immediately here, but it is something to keep in mind. We will cut out of the Spectral Spirit Shields, though. I think those kind of ran away from us. We're going to cycle right into the Dragon Claws. Now, we haven't hit these Dragon Claws in a while. Honestly, the past few streams, I have not really seen a great margin on these things, so it's good to see they're showing something decent for us today. We're going to go ahead and list 4 of them on the Grand Exchange, and of course, guys, if you are enjoying this live stream, definitely drop a like, man. It really helps me out a lot. Gets our channel up there with some other great OSRS content creators. It always shows me you guys are appreciating the content, so definitely drop a like. We have T-Runks as well saying, ever thought of doing a 1GP to 1 bill series or something like that? Not really, because here, I have thought about it though. The thing with 1GP to 1 bill, it is entertaining, but flipping with 1 GP isn't necessarily realistic, and flipping with small cash stacks like up to 10 mil is not necessarily optimal, and it's not something that I recommend here on my channel, just because flipping with those small amounts is really not going to make you enough GP per hour to show, first of all, the power of flipping and make it like an effective moneymaker, and two, it's just not that exciting in my eyes. So personally, I will not be doing that, but it's definitely been a consideration in the past. We had the 10 to 100 mil series, which I did really enjoy, but eventually I just kind of cut it because it got a little bit stale for me, and I didn't really enjoy it after a lot of time. I feel like most of my efforts should be focused into making guide-related videos, guides that you guys can reference at any moment in time and just pick up some information and learn how to make some bank. I honestly think that's the best way to go about it, and that's really where I try to put a lot of my effort, because it is such a powerful way to gain not only a subscriber base, but also teach you guys the most effective ways to make money, right? So that's typically been my focus. 2 weeks of calc and stats. Hey, use those skills on RuneScape, man. We're going to be rich. Trust me. OSRS algo, of course, of course. And Josiah, I missed his comment before. He says that Elven Singets aren't a great flip since live prices, but they're moderately low volume. I've gotten 600k to 1 mil swings over 30-minute intervals. Super, super nice. Definitely not an item I've ever looked at personally, but definitely good to see that as well. Slowly waiting on a lot of these items, guys. We're listed way above margin on these Dragon Claws. We still can't get them to fill, actually, so we're going to cut back on those. Looks like the margin kind of ran away from us on that. Now, this Twisted Bow, we are trying to make our own margin right now because the margin that was advertised was just a little bit too small. So let's see if we can actually get this Twisted Bow to sell off for an elevated price. Hopefully it does, and if it does, we're going to be very, very happy campers. We're also going to knock down this last Ancestral Row Bottom as well. We'll put that to like 295. And it should sell off fairly quickly. We still have a 435 mil on hand as well. The Grazi's looking a little bit funky here. We're probably too late to the party on that Grazi, though. So we're actually going to go on a different item, and that's going to be the Arcane Spirit Shield. Now, this is something we try to flip on a lot of our streams, but honestly, a lot of the times, those Arcane Spirit Shields really get away from us in the short term. So we're going to see if we can get a few today. I mean, the Arcane Spirit Shields are probably my #1 go-to overnight item, just because I do find that they fluctuate about 1.5, like 1 to 1.5 mil overnight, which I find a very, very powerful swing to make a lot of money on these things. You can only list like, typically I list like 3 to 4 of them, runs me about 500 mil, and I try to flip those back around. We have Gyroscope giving us the subscription over on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. Do appreciate it. He says, I have some water for you, Hydra homie. All right, man. I'm right here at the exchange. Whenever you want to give it to me, let me know in the live chat, man. It's so good to see you on the stream today, and thank you so much for the subscription, man. Seriously, it means so much to me, and just kind of shows like the dedication you guys, you know, that not only myself has to the channel, but you guys have to the channel as well. So thank you. 100 mil should give you some good options, correct? Absolutely, Ali, man. Absolutely. 100 mil is a great amount to flip with. We did get that last Ancestral Row Bottom off as well. Super, super nice. Happy to have that. And we should be able to get this Twisted Bow off as well here in a couple of minutes here, as the margin is advertised as that we're on margin. So very happy about that as well. Now, this Scythe of Vitur, it's not necessarily working out too well for us. I do think I know where this Scythe is sitting around, so I am going to adjust the price to be competitive on that, but we'll see if it actually fills or not. We'll have to see. What world are you in? Every time I'm flipping, guys, if you want to join me in-game, World 321 is my home world for flipping. I'm coining it the official financial RuneScape world, not World 1, because that crap's laggy, okay? So don't go there. World 321 is the flipping world, in my opinion. So World 321, if you want to find me in-game at any point in time, always in World 321. And we have Starborn Amanda popping in as well with the lurk. Good to see you, Amanda. I mean, hopefully you're doing well, and thank you for supporting the channel today and checking it out. We really do appreciate it, and welcome to the stream. Now, guys, we do have 75 mil on hand still. We are still waiting for the Twisted Bow to sell off here. We do have that Scythe of Vitur. We're trying to slip one in, but it's not necessarily working out too well today. We're only at 220k, 13 minutes in. We really need to keep an eye on that and stay competitive on our offers at all times here, because if we don't stay competitive, we're not going to make any money today. And I think that's really important that we honestly move some cash around and make some bank, because That's what I want to do today. So instead of trying to hunt some bigger margins, I'm going to settle for some smaller margins in the meantime while we try to swing larger margins on these big items. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do the Dragon Hunter Crossbow here, currently running us like about a, I would say like, looks like a little bit over a 100k margin. We'll see if it lasts. I'm not too positive about if it will or not. But these Dragon Warhammers have been super volatile recently as well. And currently they're showing a pretty good margin. So I don't see any reason for us not to try to hit that today. And we'll get a few of these going here. Let's see how many I can do. Should be about 6 that we can put up. About 5. Okay. We'll get 5 going here. See how those work out. And thank you guys for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. Drop a like if you are enjoying. Really does help me out a lot. And let's make some bank. And still no luck on that Twisted Bow yet. Still waiting on that. The problem with that Twisted Bow is it's not even going to be that big of a flip. But I did want to see if we can actually get one moved back and forth. Which is, it's not really looking that great, honestly. Can't get on that margin for some reason. We have Hilm saying, nice to catch you live again. Good to see you, Hilm. Thank you for tuning in today, man. Welcome to the live stream. Happy Friday. We have World of RS saying, am I muted? Absolutely not, World. Good to see you, man. And the Elysian's actually showing a decent margin here as well. There's a lot of good margins here today. It's just actually trying to find the exact price listings for it. Now, we haven't had a Scythe of Eter margin update here in quite a couple of minutes. And it's still not updating, so very interesting. See if I can find something else in the meantime. Let's see. We can't get those crossbows yet as well. They did move up on us, actually. Let's actually adjust those. Oh, we did get that Twisted Bow off. Very, very nice. Let's go back in on that Twisted Bow for a little bit cheaper. And those Dragon Hunter Crossbows as well. I do want to follow up on those. The margin did shift in the upward direction by about 10k from my original listing. So I do want to make sure I relist those for a higher price. Staying competitive on all of our offers today, guys. Hopefully you are enjoying the stream today. Welcome to the stream in the first place. And this is going to be the hardest day to flip, right? Moonreader9 giving us a follow over on Twitch, man. Do appreciate that. Welcome to the flipping team. Love to have you. And let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping in old school RuneScape. Now, at the same time, guys, like I was saying before, Friday is a very competitive day to flip on the Grand Exchange. Now, the reason it is so competitive on the exchange is because it's the day when the most players are online, right? Friday evenings around like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when we're starting to come up on peak time, and it's really tough to flip because there is a lot of competition on these real-time margins. So you need to keep that in mind when you plan out your flipping sessions. Try to flip during off-peak times when less players are playing the game, because it's going to let you flip a lot easier as there is less competition on the flips. We have Mantaros giving us a follow over on Twitch as well. Thank you, man. Do appreciate it, and welcome to the live stream. Let me know if you have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping, and we'll definitely help you out. Now, we did get all of the Dragon Hunter Crossbows here. Hopefully we didn't buy them for too high of a price. I don't think we did. I think we were just right with our offer, man. And we're going to go back and list these for a slight gain here. If I can list them correctly. I mean, we've had a couple errors in the past few streams, okay, when it comes to listing. We have Ali Dreamscape saying, with 100 mil cash, is it more realistic to do one-item margins such as the Ancestral, or more common items such as the supplies like Zulrah Scales, etc.? You do want to do that high-volume stuff, right? The Zulrah Scales, Blood Runes, Death Runes, Law Runes, Nature Runes. You're going to want to do like Rune Darts, Adamant Darts. You're going to want to do that high-volume stuff. I really think that's the way to go. Do manual margin checks just like normal, and just go from there. I think that's honestly the best way to do it. You don't need to use real-time prices on your high-volume stuff. I don't think it's worth it. I think paying for the real cost is the best way to do it, and try to do both hand in hand and make money that way. We have Mantaros saying, hello, been loving your content on YouTube. Thank you, Mantaros, man. He says, wishing you all the best, and I love your positive attitude on stream. Thank you, dude. We're going to try to make some money today, Mantaros, man. I mean, I'm trying to get in there, trying to make some cash, trying to stay positive, even though we're currently only at about 765K in profit, 19 minutes in. So we definitely need to turn that up, tune up the dials a little bit, and make a little bit more cash, guys. We have 670 OSRS. I could not pronounce that name. I don't know why. He says, teach me. Tune in for a little bit, man. Ask me any questions you might have about flipping, and I'll answer everything for you, man. And we'll help you learn that way. But if you need more guides, we have a ton of content over on YouTube. Mantaros can vouch for it. And we just hit that 1 mil mark as well on the stream. Super nice. Let's go back into those Dragon Hunter crossbows. Smack a few more around. Maybe pull up a couple more coins out of that transaction. ASD says, hey, Scape, do you have any tips on identifying an item that's been pumped and dumped? Oh, that's honestly a very, very good question. Let me actually... Give me a minute. Let me relist this, and then we can definitely give that a little bit of a discussion here. I think yes, I can definitely give you some pointers on an items that have been pumped and dumped, right? One thing is volume, right? If you see a massive movement in buy price, by volume, then you know for a fact that someone is buying in big, probably someone who's got multiple accounts and he has a lot of coins on hand. Now, if you see that happening, you do need to be careful because yes, the item will spike up in price, but keep in mind that one person is probably holding a majority supply of that item, and you need to be very careful in the way that you do play it. Now, if you see that happening, you could try and risk it and get some money out of it, but in my personal opinion, I would stay away from the situation and just go on to something else. There's plenty of great items here on the Grand Exchange that you can flip that are a lot safer, that are not being manipulated, and that's actually going to make you a lot more profit per hour. And Jay Hefner saying, guys, definitely join the Discord for the juiciest flips and tips. Yeah, guys, 100%. Please join our Discord group. We have a Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape with over 2,000 members. So if you're looking for some great items to flip, or you just have more questions about flipping, be sure to join us on there. I'm in there all the time talking with you guys. And honestly, we've had so many players in there recently who have just been crushing it profit-wise on the Grand Exchange, making more than me in some situations, which I just find absolutely incredible. So congrats to all of you guys who are just destroying the game right now in the Discord group. It's actually incredible what you guys are achieving. Now, we have IAM saying, yo, I joined the Discord yesterday and I made $1 million. See, I don't make this stuff up, guys. Like, literally, I don't make this stuff up. So definitely join the Discord group if you are trying to improve on flipping. And we have Mantaros saying, I totally vouch for his YouTube content. Very good explanation of fundamentals on the different kinds of flipping metas. I advise subscribing to his YouTube channel and checking out his videos. Thank you, man. Do appreciate it. The only thing I don't like about my YouTube channel is I wish I made more videos. That's the only thing. So I'm going to try to put some time aside this weekend to go through some new flipping strategies that I have actually been trying. And one, I think you guys are going to find super, super interesting. So I'm going to do that video first. It's what I call... semi-passive flipping, and it's honestly making me a lot of bank right now on an alt account, and honestly I don't even log on to the thing, so it's pretty incredible to make money, and I really want to share it with you guys. So that's going to be coming out probably sometime next week. I know you guys need the 100 mil flipping guide with real-time prices. We're going to get that out as well, and the overnight guide as well. I know you guys need all this content, and I'm here to provide it. I just need a little bit more time. But anyway, guys, if you are enjoying the stream over on YouTube, drop a like, guys. Seriously, it helps me out a ton. Really gets my content up there with some other great old school RuneScape content creators, and I would consider myself at least a decent old school RuneScape content creator. So if you hit the like button, we can kind of finagle our way into that larger group as well, so definitely would appreciate that. Now, we do actually have a little bit of a drop in price on the scythe. Now, I'm a little bit scared that this thing might be coming down in price on us, so we are going to do a significant knockdown on the margin, hopefully get this thing off. Of course, as soon as I buy in, this thing crashes on us. Probably shouldn't have bought it considering how long I was waiting for that to fill. Definitely a little bit suspect. Probably should have done something about that. It was a mistake I made on my end that might cost us a couple million. Now, we'll keep an eye on that, though, and try to adjust it as best we can here. Let's go back in on these Dragon Warhammers for a little bit higher of a price. I think we are still on margin for the Dragon Hunter Crossbows as well, which is a great sign. We're going to let that sit and do its thing. Julian says, I just got 90 combat, too tired for overnight flips. Happens more often. Okay. He says, I guess I'll find a quick one or something. I don't know if it's a quick flip or if you are looking for a quick item to flip overnight. I mean, you're overnight, right? So you don't necessarily need something quick. But a great option is the potato cactus. I love flipping that overnight because the volume on it is relatively low and does have larger fluctuations overnight for one of those cheaper items. Swapped worlds and got locked out. Gyro, man, I forgot you were still trying. Okay, there's no rush, man. Just as long as you can get it to me by the end of the stream, I will be happy with that. And here we go. We got the Dragon Warhammers coming in as well. Chris Ramsey says, I was just about to ask if you ever flip in skill or something that's passive. Kind of answer my question, I think. Very, very rarely I will. Most of my time spent in RuneScape is actually flipping on the Grand Exchange, trying to trade markets and making money that way. I mean, it's my goal in RuneScape is to make a lot of cash. And a lot of people think that's weird, right? Because they're like, well, how are you going to spend it? Well, the goal of mine is to make money, and I don't know how I'll spend it in the future. Probably do some fun staking streams or something like that with the extra cash, and just have a good time with it. I mean, I'm not really, like, playing RuneScape to progress in the game PVM-wise, but I definitely will buy, like, the nicest gear once I can comfortably afford everything. You could be an esports commentator. You're not the first one to say that, Chase. I do appreciate those kind words, though. It would be a great career path to go down. It's just not the easiest of jobs to find. Top 5 overnight items. For me, I would say Dragon Warhammer is one of them I love to do overnight. I don't really do the Scyther Twisted Bow, but I do the Arcane Spirit Shield and the Spectral Spirit Shield. I really like doing those overnight as well. Volatile Orb and Eldritch Orb. I would say those are probably my top 5 go-to items to flip overnight, just because it's a good mix of volume. I like all of them, and most of the time I will have a couple of those fill and sell them back for a larger margin, which is typically what you want on an overnight flip. What kind of items do you buy on alts? I've got a whole video coming out on that, Jim. You'll see it when it comes out, man. Do you play the stock market outside of RuneScape? Yes, but not like day trading, just long term. Okay, Gyro, man, let me know when you're here and come trade me. I'll collect those vials of water from you. And someone put a ton of shrimp on the outside here, which is a little bit funky, man. Holy moly, boys. Holy, that's one of the biggest ones we've had in quite some time. 182,000 vials of water coming in from a Gyroscope, man. Do appreciate the vials. Thank you for the donation, man. We're going to add them to the vial of water stack that we do have, and we'll see if that takes us over 25 million. Unfortunately, it doesn't take us there quite yet, but 25 million vials in the stack, guys. A quarter of the way to 100 mil vials, which is kind of our goal since we started live streaming. So that's pretty crazy. Thank you to everybody along the entire journey of that who's donated vials. Do appreciate it. I've been killed on the Arcane, Spectral, and the Volatile Orbs, LOL. They are definitely very risky items, 670, and they're not something you can flip that easily, right? So the way you want to play those is you want to look at the graphs, and you want to see over a 24-hour period, where are these things dipping overnight? Like, where could I get in on a cheap one of these and still be able to buy it? Now, once you can use that, like that data point, you can actually list for that same price and hope for the best overnight. As long as the item is not trending in a downward direction too aggressively, you will be able to successfully flip these items overnight and walk away with a nice bit of bank. Now, we are going to put these Dragon Warhammers back onto the exchange here. Unfortunately, not for that great of a margin. I mean, it's a lot less than I was hoping for originally. Luckily, though, we did get that Scythe of Vitur off. I'm glad we didn't freak out too much on that. And we are going to try to chase that margin in a downward direction here. Try to get another one for a lot cheaper. And if we can, I'll definitely be very happy about it. Currently, it looks like the margin might be a little bit larger than what is actually advertised. I'm actually going to try to get a cheaper one, and just because what's reflected on the real-time prices is a lot larger or a lot smaller than what that margin actually is. So I think we might be able to sneak a cheap one in here and actually get a larger profit on it. And we'll let everything else sit for now. We do need to keep a close eye on that Twisted Bow, though. Make sure we are getting some updated prices on there. Don't want to let that sit for too long. Anyway, we have Ali Dreamscape saying, what do you think of this? An account for active flipping in the short term and then an alt for overnight flipping / flip when I wake up before I sleep and repeat. You could do it that way, but honestly, you should just have 2 accounts. And if you are doing overnights on one account and you have 2 accounts available, you should be using every single account that you have that has members for your overnight flips. It's a lot of work, but I'm telling you, you're going to make a lot more money that way. And look, for me, the way I look at overnights is, you know, overnights are like free GP. You just have to put in the work to actually figure out, first of all, how to overnight flip, which, you know, learning how to do it might cost you a couple mil in the short term, okay? But it is 100% worth it. So figuring out how to overnight flip is one step of the equation, and then overnight flipping every single night is the other step of the equation. Combining those together, like literally, if you are trying to get into overnight flipping, set overnights every night. If you lose a little bit of money, sit back, take a look at the item's price overnight and say, where did I go wrong with this price listing? What should I have done to actually put myself in a profitable situation on this item? And how can I avoid this in the future? You have, like, if you put in the effort, guys, I promise you, you will start nailing your overnights. And honestly, you'll be able to turn 4 to 5 mil overnight very easily. Depending on your cash stack, even, you know, with max cash, you can turn like a 15 mil overnight if you get pretty lucky on stuff, which is, I mean, come on, 0 effort, 15 mil. There's nothing like that in RuneScape. Diamond hands or paper hands, says Manan. It depends, man. It depends on the situation, of course, but you do want to hold diamond hands, of course, if you have a good entry on something that is just absolutely skyrocketing. So just keep that in mind. We have Light Up the L saying, sorry, I had to get a haircut. No problem, man. He says it's Friday, about to head to my friend's house. Best of luck. Thank you, L, man, and thank you for stopping by, saying hi, and enjoying the stream. By the way, guys, if you guys are enjoying the stream, definitely drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'm always bringing flipping content and flipping live streams to the channel for you guys to enjoy, so hopefully you do enjoy it. Now, we do have to rotate out of this twisted bow for a little bit cheaper than I would have liked, to be quite honest, but we still are in a profitable range on it, which is fine. I just don't want to hold on to this thing for too long at this point. We have 670 OSRS giving us a follow over on Twitch, man. Do appreciate it. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel as well when you get a chance, if you are looking for some more sophisticated guides on flipping in old school RuneScape. But of course, you have me here live, so be sure to ask any questions you might have in the live chat, and I'll definitely help you out and teach you how to flip and make some extra gains. Now, we do have 342 million GP on hand. Would be a shame not to go ahead and flip something with that, right? So let's go back and list. Actually, do want to do the Grazis here. I did say I was going to do them before, and I think now is a perfect opportunity to get in on a couple of those. We'll get 3 of them going. Okay, we'll get 2 of them going, and we'll let that do its thing. Manio says, dang, the duo stream. Good to see you, Manio. Thank you for tuning in. He says, what's up? Thank you, man. And thanks for stopping by. Do appreciate that. We also have Saints Van. Good to see you, bro. He says, hey, man, what's your opinion on the downtrend on Dragon Hides I've been on lately? I honestly haven't even been paying attention to it. I do plan on taking a look this weekend, though. I have been hearing about it, and it's a little bit interesting, right? Because, thank you, Manio, man. Do appreciate it. And it's a little bit interesting, right? Because Dragonhide items are tied to an alch price, so you have to keep that in mind when these things drop in price, right? If you're getting in below alch price, like, it's basically free bank, so it's always something to keep in mind. Chris Ramsey saying, you doing another 24-hour stream again? Yes, I will. Probably sometime this year. I think making it an annual thing would be pretty fun, so I think I will do another 24-hour stream. And I have been talking about some good concepts I can do for that 24-hour, and I think what I'm going to do is start from a fresh level 3 account and see how much money I can make in 24 hours, you know, flipping or just doing anything in-game with that fresh level 3. So I do have to build out a strategy for how I think I'm going to attack that. I think it's going to be a blast of a stream once we do it, though. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that, and should be really fun. We do have the Sanguesi staff here. We're actually only going to go in on one Sanguesi here in the short term. Julian says it's not below high alch, not anywhere near. Well, not yet. Now, keep in mind that if you combine like, if you sew something like not the dragon hide alone, but if you make like a dragon hide body out of it, then you could be getting close to alch price with the effort put in. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Those like armor pieces. That sounds awesome. Thank you, Chris, man. I just need to think of like the logistics behind it. I currently don't have any real plan to implement it, but it is something I have been considering. If there is any time in the future that RuneScape becomes part of esports, please do commentary, as I feel I'm listening to a CSGO main stage tournament. Not a bad thing, it's a compliment. Nico West, man, thank you, dude. Like, everyone's flattering me with the esport comments lately, and I really do appreciate that. I mean, I've never done any kind of commentary in my life besides the RuneScape commentary and these live streams, and I'm glad it's paying off. I mean, it seems like you guys really do enjoy it, so thank you for the kind words, Nico. Appreciate that a lot. And it's a nice confidence boost on a Friday evening, I'll put it that way. Now, I do have these Grazis here. I did say I was going to sell these back, and it looks like we just got a nice updated price for it as well, so we can go in there right below margin. We should be able to turn those around fairly easy. We also have Tomas asking, I started flipping very recently, and I've been flipping for the same item for the past 4 or 5 days for a return of 400 to 1 mil overnight from a 16 to 20 mil investment. Is that decent? That is very, very good, Tomas. Keep up the good work, man. I mean, I don't know if we've ever had results like that with a 16 to 20 mil cash tag. I mean, that is very, very solid. Definitely keep up the work on the same exact item. And honestly, you might want to keep that item to yourself, to be quite honest. You could tell other people if it's a higher volume item, but sometimes there is a benefit to keeping items to yourself in those certain situations. Definitely want to keep that in mind. Now, it looks like the Arcane Spirit Shield is actually ripping in price right now. I do want to try and get one. I'm a little bit scared because I don't think this really looks that legit, so I will try and get one, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in here today. Welcome to the Friday live stream. I hope you guys are having a good one. I love doing these streams for you guys, especially on Friday evenings. So if you guys are enjoying it, definitely drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and let's make some money. Now, it actually does look like those sides did bounce up a little bit in price, which was not something I really expected at all, but I will go back in on these Grazis here. Unfortunately, I can only get one at the moment because we are trying to hunt that Arcane Spirit Shield as well. We'll probably cycle out of the Sanguesti staff, though. We'll kind of let that sit on the sideline. And these Justiciar face guards, kind of looking interesting right now. I would like to try and get a couple of these. Let's see where the face guards are currently going around, though. Just clicked it. Okay, there we go. And I do want to get a good listing on these because, again, these are like a lower volume item. They're not that expensive, and you can really list a high limit for not that much money. And, I mean, in retrospect to the nature of the item, right? And let's go ahead and sell this Twisted Bow back as well. If we can sell that, it would be pretty good. We're not making a ton on the Twisted Bow today, but we are actually moving it around, so can't really complain too much about that. Nico says, your voice complements your energetic, fast-paced voice. Also, I think your microphone definitely helps towards the esports feel. It is a dynamic microphone, right? So it's like more of a broadcasty sound microphone, and I would agree. When I did buy the microphone, that is something I was looking for. And it's funny that you actually put that in, Nico, as well, because this microphone, actually, we were talking about this a couple minutes ago, was all from donations on the 24-hour live stream. That was all from you guys and all the fans of the channel who wanted to get to that new microphone, and it was completely out of the generosity of you guys. So I wouldn't have had it if we didn't do that 24-hour live stream and we didn't have the generosity from the fan base. So do appreciate that, guys. Always appreciate it. And I think that's it's like actually a little known fact, believe it or not, with this microphone, because not everyone was around for that 24-hour live stream. So I feel like it's always something good to put out there and let people know that, hey, this came from you guys, and I can only thank you for it. Now, we do have a good opportunity, actually, on the Sanguesti staff. Now, I do know I cycled out of it before. Nico, man, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the flipping team. Hopefully, you are enjoying your time here today, and you're definitely flattering me with some compliments, so definitely can't complain about that. Now, let's go ahead and get these Sanguesti staffs listed here. I do want to put them in for a little bit higher than what this listing is saying and try to get a few of them, because we did have these listed for a couple minutes before, but we were not able to actually buy up on them. And let's see. We'll do something like that. We can't get that many. Okay, we can only get one at a time, so that's a little bit worse than I thought. Now, the Dragon Warhammer's probably coming back down in price on us. I do want to get out of these as quickly as I can. And again, I don't want to hold the Dragon Warhammers down on a downtrend. It's just not really something I'm looking to do today. I'm not sinking with the ship today, guys. We're going to try to sell it off while it is afloat. Wild Muffin popping in as well. Good to see you, Wild Muffin, man. Thank you for tuning in on this lovely Friday evening. Hopefully you're doing well. I know you're always popping in here and saying hi, and definitely drop a like if you are enjoying. Now we have Mountaras. He says, I'd like to ask a question regarding waiting. Now, he says, I assume that the higher volume items, the less time you wait while you're active flipping because of margins updating faster. Thanks in advance. That is absolutely correct, Mountaras. Now, with these real-time prices being available on the OSRS wiki, it does change the landscape a little bit as far as flipping goes. But in general, yes, you are going to wait shorter time frames on higher volume items. You know, for example, if something doesn't start buying up in about like 4 to 6 minutes on a high volume item, you will want to adjust that price, maybe perform another margin check just because it's not that expensive to find out where that item is trading. But something on the site, like the Scythe or the Twisted Bow, even if you're sitting for 15 minutes because you're trying to get a good buy offer in it, it's not the end of the world and it's not detrimental to actually completing that flip. You'll notice sometimes I do sit on the Scythe or the Twisted Bow for a lot longer than you typically would to try to get the best deal possible to make a lot more on the flip, looking at upwards of like 1 mil to 1.5 mil, as opposed to flipping it quicker for 700 to 900k profit. Usually waiting a little bit longer will open up that more profitable opportunity for you, but not always. Now, we do have the Twisted Bow here. We are on margin for it. Actually, we're not on margin for it, but we're not far off the margin. I think if we wait there, we will be okay. I don't want to... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, I don't want to knock the Twisted Bow down too much here because we were already at a pretty low offer to begin with. Now, I will actually go back and list again for another Twisted Bow, lower than our previous offer as well, because I want to fill in these offers at lower and lower prices to try to... Oh, wow. I mean, that's just... I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, that was accurate. That was an accurate margin too, guys. I mean, 100% accurate on that. So that's perfect. We're going to go back in and sell another one here. Very, very happy about that. As long as we can get this off pretty quickly, then we'll be in a good spot. I don't think this Arcane's gonna fill. Not too shocked about that, to be quite honest. I wasn't sure it was going to in the first place, but we do have 356 million GP on hand. I do want to go ahead and list the Armadale Crossbows next, because they actually do look pretty good right now. They are a little bit higher, like, they're not a high volume item, but they're higher volume than a lot of other gear related items. So I think going in on these, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. We'll try to get 8 of them right off the bat here. Hopefully it works. If it does buy pretty quickly, that is going to show us... Oh, wow, that Twisted Bow, man. Holy moly, going super, super fast on the exchange right now. Definitely going to go right back in for another one. Very happy about the prices on that right now. I definitely cannot complain. I mean, the margin is not amazing, but look how fast we're flipping this back and forth. I mean, within the past few minutes, we have been able to trade 2 Twisted Bows in about like a 5 to 6 minute time frame, which is very, very good. All for a larger, not a larger margin, but all over 700k. So that is, in my opinion, the minimum I like to take on those larger margin items. And if they buy and sell quickly, I mean, I'm not going to stop myself from trying to fill out a limit on that item. Thank you very much. I understood that perfectly. Mantaros, man, no problem. We also have Ali Dreamscape saying, wouldn't it be more efficient to do bank standing moneymakers while flipping? Yes, but and I don't typically do them because, one, I'm lazy and I can already make a decent GP per hour flipping with my cash stack. I'm not flexing, I'm just saying. And at the same time, on these live streams, I don't do it because you know, putting commentary over everything and talking with you guys, reading questions and thinking through certain analysis takes up a little bit of my time, right? And reading chat and things like that. So that's typically why I don't try to stress out and do other bank standing moneymakers while I wait. But you're absolutely right. You should mix in bank standing moneymakers if you do have a smaller cash stack and you're really trying to grasp at every single piece of GP per hour. You're really trying to maximize that gain. Absolutely. And I think my number one bank standing moneymaker I'd recommend is Ran Potions Unfinished. I feel like that makes like, I think 500 to 600k an hour. It's super easy to do, and it's going to help your GP per hour, especially with smaller stacks. Like, if you use that while flipping with a smaller stack, you could be coming up on a 1.5 to 2 mil an hour bag with even 10 mil. 670 OSRS says, how much do you offer under the margin price? It really depends, 670. It depends on how like active I think the margins are and how quick they're moving. Typically, I put it like... if something looks like it's going up in price, I'll put it like 100k over. If something for these bigger items, if something looks like it's coming down in price, I'll put it like 250k under, and I'll try to catch those. But again, if it's a large gap, I'll list a lot lower because I expect a larger fluctuation. It's a little bit hard to describe. But Robert L popping in as well. He says, yo, good to see you, Robert, man. It's been a minute. Thank you for tuning in, bro. And welcome to the Friday stream. Look at this guy flexing his stack, SMH. I never try to flex my stack, although I do think my stack is a good representation of someone who's really tried to adopt flipping into my money making in old school RuneScape, someone who's been dedicated to it over a longer time frame. I do think my cash stack reflects that. Now, we have Ali Dreamscape saying, yeah, that was 600k an hour. You're reading my mind. Hey, telepathy, bro, telepathy. Anyway. Kyra says, hey, good to see you, Kyra. Thank you for tuning in today on the Friday stream. Guys, I just have to say, join us on Discord if you're not with us on there already. It really matters a lot for you to learn how to flip. We have a great Discord dedicated to flipping and money making in old school RuneScape. And honestly, it would be a shame if you were missing out on all the free information in there. Also, at the same time, definitely drop a like on the YouTube stream if you are enjoying it. Give us a follow on Twitch. Whatever you may do, it's really important for our channel and our subscriber gain. So we'd love to have you tune into the content in the first place. I mean, that is like one of the biggest things. I mean, if you are really serious about flipping in old school RuneScape, I feel like my channel is a great place to start, where you can get personal coaching on certain situations. Now, there's other great channels as well, like Flipping Old School and Small EXP Lamp. Some of his older content is relating to flipping. I don't really think he does too much on it anymore, but great channels as well. Now, Nico West says, I have a question that's controversial, but I don't mean this the wrong way. However, isn't teaching more people how to do this going to make this harder for you? Nico, yes, of course it has. Now, I have been doing this for about 4 years. I think these live streams maybe 3 or 4 years, but YouTube for like 5. So yes, it does make it harder because there's more competition, but at the same time, look, if someone's willing to sit down, learn how to flip these items, I want to teach them. I feel like I know how to flip in old school RuneScape very well, and I have a skill set that I can offer you guys. And I was really passionate about the beginning in my flipping journey of showing people how to flip in old school RuneScape, because I think it is the #1 most underutilized way of making GP in RuneScape, and it's like the most powerful way as well. And once people like subscribe to the flipping cult, I think they never go back because they find out how powerful this moneymaker is. I mean, there's no other moneymaker in old school RuneScape that's going to make you, you know, I mean, there are moneymakers that make you money while you're offline, but nothing that's like significant gains. There's no moneymakers that scale with your cash stack besides, you know, getting better gear to do it more efficiently. There's, you know, overnight flipping and, you know, the more money you have, the more money you're going to make. Those two factors of flipping alone make it the most appealing way, in my opinion, to make money in old school RuneScape. And actually figuring that out, so, you know, trying to list items, trying to figure out the best way to make money and flip is by far going to make you the most profit per hour. And I mean, look, there's a whole player-run economy in old school RuneScape. You might as well learn how to flip it. Now, we do have a Kodai wands, which actually look pretty decent here. We're going to try and get a few. I think something just bought. I didn't see what it was, though. Let me try and get these Kodai wands here. And we'll list like 2 Kodai wands. We did get the Twisted Bow off as well. Oh my goodness. This Twisted Bow today has been, you know, it was very slow to start off, but now it's the item that's made us 2.6 mil in the session so far. Again, not a big margin on these Twisted Bows, not at all, and not by any means, but at the same time, like, how can you complain when you're flipping it this quickly? I mean, it's crazy. Wait, I actually listed this wrong. Let me list another one here. AS says, I wanted to say that your flipping videos have helped me grow my bank more than anything else I've ever done. This is coming from someone with 9,000 Vorkath kills, by the way. I'm telling you, man. I'm literally, like, I'll teach it, and I'll show you guys how to do it, but, like, if you subscribe to Flipping is the Best Moneymaker in RuneScape, then you're going to turn around these profits. You're going to get to these larger banks, these larger cash stacks, and look, I understand that, you know, efficient Theater of Blood is also a very, very good moneymaker. But over time, right, you know, as more of those Theater of Blood items come into the game, you're going to be selling them for less profit. There's only a few items that have held like a really good value, right? Like, I'm telling you, the economy, like, flipping is never going anywhere, right? Unless Jagex switches something in the way flipping works, which I do not expect personally, but unless they do that, flipping will not go anywhere because it's literally like player-driven economy, right? How can it go anywhere? It can't because players trade all the time. So it would be, you know, even if they remove the Grand Exchange, flipping would still exist and even probably have better margins, which is just nuts. I've heard someone say flipping destroys the RS economy. What do you think about it? That's a big misconception. Definitely a huge misconception. Active flipping actually helps the old school RuneScape economy because if you think about it, say I buy up 8 Armadale Crossbows, right? And I try to turn them around for a larger margin. I'm actually providing convenience to players for a cost, right? So if I'm flipping for a 50k margin, if you want an Armadale Crossbow for 50k extra, you can get it instantly. So if you're willing to pay 50k to have the Armadale Crossbow instantly, I can provide that to you. It actually doesn't ruin the OS economy. It actually makes it more efficient because you have these margin spreads and you can actually, people can pay, quote unquote, for convenience. And that's basically what flipping is people who are impatient and want to pay for convenience. And that's where you make your profit. People who don't want to wait for these items. It's an efficiency thing. It's not a detrimental thing. It's a shame that people think that because it's not the right way to think about it. Nico says, I think the reason for this is because this mechanic doesn't follow an algorithm, so to speak. It's set by the user and not the game. Absolutely. And I think another thing with that, Nico, is like, with the rest of your comment, I would say that flipping it's not a skill, right? I mean, flipping, it quote unquote, it is a skill, right? You can get better at flipping. You can learn how to do overnights. Those are skills in themselves. But at the same time, like flipping is not an in-game skill, right? You don't get experience from flipping. You can't be like 200 mil flipping experience, right? So I think that's another factor. People think that flipping primarily is bank standing, and I agree. I mean, it is bank standing, right? I mean, there's no way around it. It is a bank standing activity for the most part. You can implement overnights and stuff like that, that, you know, get away from the bank standing factor of it all. But at the end of the day, flipping is something you do at the Grand Exchange. You can't do it anywhere else. So I think that's like a big misconception, like not a misconception, but like just a way people look at it. Like, I'm not making any XP gains by standing at the Grand Exchange. I could if I was like fletching or something, but I'm not. And I think that's like a big factor for people is that they don't want to sit at the Grand Exchange. They don't want to just make money when they can make money by doing Slayer and getting XP, or they can do raids and have fun with it. I love flipping. I think it's very, very fun and enjoyable, but not everyone has that same kind of appeal. And I am like all for players being liberated in their own way, right? You know, the power to the player. Someone shouldn't tell you how to play the game. I mean, I have people come into my stream all the time who have watched me for a long time, and they roast me, right? Because I have no XP gains. And it's like, look, my focus in RuneScape is not XP gains. It's not the way I play the game. And that's like the standard, though, is like eventually you max, right? I'll never max my account. I mean, I have no interest in doing so. And it's just, I play the game differently compared to a lot of people, and I'm here for a different kind of fun. I'm here to teach you guys how to flip. I'm here to improve my own flipping, and that's the way I play this game, and I absolutely love it. Let's get 5 of these. We did get a Twisted Bow again, though. Let's turn that around as well. That Twisted Bow margin is actually growing. Surprisingly, it is growing for us here, which is great. We're going to be able to profit a nice bit of money off this last one, which is awesome. People who hate flippers are just jealous of the profits. Absolutely, Gyroman. Absolutely. And then Jay Hefner says, 100% agree with you. Always a bit annoying having people who dislike flippers. I mean, you know, like, I could go say, oh, I dislike people who efficiently run Theater of Blood, right? But it's like, the standard in RuneScape is like to focus on PBM, so it's like, I'll get hate for doing that. So it doesn't really matter to me either way. It's just like, I play the game for my own reasons, and you can't tell me how to play the game. Anyway, where are you finding your margins? On the OSRS wiki, that is correct. Thank you, Gyra, for answering that. Nico says, but that's where it's controversial again. Say you were doing this, but also AFKing skills on your ult. Would you be a bank standing flipper still? Because technically you have an account that's still doing a skill. I mean, yeah, it's up to interpretation. I mean, you could look at it any way. But here's the thing is like, if you, let's say you're playing old school RuneScape, right? You're a new player and you learn how flipping works and you understand the economy. Maybe you played a different game where there was a similar type of thing with flipping and things like that. And imagine building your account, training your skills, but also using the Grand Exchange every night for overnight flips. You would have all the money in the world to afford all of your gear. All your money problems are going to be solved. You're not going to be reaching for your wallet or paying for bonds and things like that because you have figured out how the economy works. You can take advantage of it, and that is going to save you a lot of time, like doing money-making tasks in old school RuneScape. I mean, you know, you don't have to grind for Vorkath and be, you know, go to a 12-hour Vorkath grind so you can afford to buy a freaking like Abyssal Bludgeon, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to subject yourself to that. You're always going to have that cash on hand with that flipping, like, skill set. And not learning how to flip and, like, playing the game and not learning how to flip, I find is, like, a big misconception. Like, you want to understand the economy as best you can, and anyone can do it. It doesn't matter how much cash you have. Yes, there is, like, a minimum requirement in my personal opinion, but you could flip with any amount in honesty. But there are, like, exceptions. Like, I would say only try to flip if you have at least 10 mil. But if you, again, it's one of those things. The more time you put into it, the better you're going to get at it. Same thing with Vorkath. The more you do Vorkath, the better you're going to get at it. You're going to die a lot less. Flipping, the more you do it, the more overnight opportunities you're going to have, the more money you're going to make in the long run. Oh, the flipping ruining the economy argument is a bit annoying. Yeah, because it helps. It doesn't hurt. Like, there are situations where, like, items get pumped like that and stuff, but, I mean, you shouldn't be buying a clockwork cat for freaking 3 mil, okay? So don't do that. Like, everyone should know not to do that. But besides that, yeah, there are definitely situations that there are pumps or there are some manipulations that I could see why people don't like flipping. But that's not flipping. That's item manipulation, and that is a bannable offense in old school RuneScape. They are not the same thing. Did you get the flipping pet already, says Kyra? I wish. I mean, if they added a flipping pet, like a 0.00001% chance that when you bought and sold an item on the Grand Exchange, you get the pet, I mean, I might have it. I don't know. But I would definitely love to see something like that. And it can just be like a coin stack that follows you around. And wow, look at this. Armadale Crossbow filling up with lightning speed here. We're actually going to cancel that. I just want to try to flip that very quickly and actually get out of that. It would be nice just to escape that one really quick, unscathed. Botting ruins the economy, not flipping. Yeah, I would agree. If anything, look at this and listen to this argument. If anything, with bots existing in the game, flippers actually balance the economy, right? Because if an item crashes significant amounts, people who are into investing in items or flipping buy into that item and they hold it until the item is at a normal price. So having that cushion actually saves items from being completely decimated. And that's, again, it's 100% player run opportunity. And it's crazy, the world of flipping. Like, if you're not into flipping and you've never, you know, experienced it or learned about it, there's so much in-depth stuff. Like, it's more advanced than any skill in the game. It is, in my opinion, I mean, more fun than any skill in the game. But there's that's definitely up to argument. But it's really way more technical than it looks on the surface. So you have a bunch of high-level items pulled up on the OSRS wiki. Yeah, I have an OSRS wiki page with my favorite items on it, and then I just cycle through the items, and I see which ones look good, and then I use those price listings. That's basically how I do my flipping. Now, the scythe is not buying here. We're actually going to cancel out on that, just because we are coming up on that hour mark, guys. 4.5 mil today. That's not too bad. If we can sell this Twisted Bow off on stream as well, it would be even nicer. Nico says, see, the argument sounds even more dumb if it was to take this to real life. It's like saying you hate people who trade stocks and invest money. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's people trying, it's the same thing in RuneScape, right? You're buying an item because you think it's lower valued if you're an investor. You're buying an item because it's cheaper than what you think the actual value of the item is in game, so you buy it because you expect it to be worth more in the future. The stock market is literally the same exact thing. You are buying something because you expect the value of it to be more expensive in the future, and that's the reason you purchased it in the first place. But anyway. And RuneScape just has more arbitrage opportunities for, like, something's really, really cheap, or, like, there's an update on the horizon and you know an item's probably going to go up in price because of that update. There's a lot of things like that. Don't you think that now with the name... Oh, good to see you, Zardon, man. Good for you to stop by. He says, the name of an item, you can just get undercut by other people by checking the prices on the wiki. Yes, that can definitely happen. I think blocking the prices on screen does help with a little bit of that. But yeah, absolutely, at any time, someone could check where I'm trading my margins around. But I could list above or below, and they would actually not know where that item is being traded around. So there is a little bit of price ambiguity on it. But yes, people in general can tell where the margin is sitting. And that's just... It's just a problem when you're an active flipper. You try to teach active flipping. It's always going to be a struggle trying to hide those prices, especially with real-time prices as well. Bankers might be a bad example because that has other causes. Yeah, I mean, the real economy is obviously a lot more sophisticated than the old school RuneScape economy. But anyway, guys, we just sold that Twisted Bow. We don't have time to run another one back. 5.3 mil in profit. Honestly, very, very solid session. I mean, we did break above 5 mil, which I think is very good. So 5.3 mil an hour, very solid average. Currently averaging about 5.6, but it's a little bit off. But anyway, very happy with today's gains. 5.3 mil, very, very solid. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. I would love to stream for longer, but I do have some plans, so I do have to get going. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Drop a like if you did enjoy it. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And of course, we're going to be live on Monday for you guys as well. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one.